Hello everybody. So I thought today we'd do a little bit of a stitch with me, and I am working on my August Peridot Fairy. So I got this several years ago now as a birthday present from my husband. So I try and work on it every so often. Now that I have my new glasses, that is very beneficial. So this fabric is 32 count, but in the dyeing process it got a bit smaller. So it is difficult on the eyes to stitch. So it's a little bit of slow going. But I try and do a little bit as I can. And I'm sorry the camera is a little shaky. It's attached to my frame. Well, my stand, not the actual frame. And I think I'm going to tighten this fabric just a little smidge. So I absolutely adore Mirabilias, but sometimes, well, I just have too many whips. That is my major problem. There's too many things I want to stitch, and just not enough hours in the day. So, but like I said, I think in my last Stitch With Me, I took Miss Milky Bar Kid's idea for her stash, and I'm using it for my whip. So every time I feel like I want a new start, I just go look at my whips and see if there's not something that strikes my fancy that I already have started. Like, I'm feeling the Halloween bug at this point. Well, right now, my Fairy is wearing a black dress and has the purples and the greens and everything. So, I'm okay here. But I also have several Halloween pieces. Some of them that I'd forgotten I'd even started. So, and it doesn't help that, some of them only have like 10, 20 stitches in them. So you can't tell what they're supposed to be when you look at them. And so that's kind of a drawback. So with this method, I can see what it's supposed to be. I can go pull that project and work on it. So that's what I'm trying to do now. And I've been working on my August Peridot Fairy, and I also have my Sue Coleman Cougar that I've been working on. I'm kind of alternating between the two. Matter of fact, I've been so lazy about it. I have two cross stitch stands. So I have the one I'm using right now, which is the one my husband built for me, and it holds my American Dream frame, and I can actually modify it to hold whatever frame I want, but it wouldn't do a Millennium frame. It's not robust enough for that. Probably wouldn't even hold a Quantum, but I don't have one of those, so And that's my cat getting on the back of my chair for her usual perch, so she can stare out my window. But anyway, so I have this stand, and then I don't even remember the brand. I found it on Craigslist. And it looks a little bit like the Edmund stands, but it's not an Edmund. It's very high quality wood. It's the only downside with it was a little short. So I made a bit of a modification so that it was more comfortable for me to stitch on because I'm a taller person and it got annoying. So yeah. I have, what I typically do with that one is I just set up my Q-snap. Well, they're not even real Q-snaps. They're the Hobby Lobby version. I need to get real Q-snaps, but you know. I have several of the Hobby Lobby ones, and I have, I could also put it on, I have another set of bars for my American Dream, and I could put my American Dream on that stand as well. But I haven't seen the need. So, and honestly, my stitching time is about to decrease anyway. This is my last week of vacation before school starts back. So I've already been doing lots of lesson planning and getting activities together. It's what I should be doing today, but I've opted to have a crafty day. And I am making some videos in advance just because I know that next week is going to be a little crazy. And I missed getting a Stitch With Me up last week because of Stitch What's and everything going on with that. There's only so many directions I can be pulled, and I didn't have the bandwidth for it. So, but that's okay. I manage. If I don't get a video up once in a while, it's not a problem, but I am trying for consistency. So, I'm trying. And that's always my goal. And I just finished a series of diamond painting videos. That will go up in the next few weeks. And then hopefully with what I pre-record and excuse me, and all the work I've done over the summer for school, I'll have a smooth start to the year and I will quickly get back into a routine. And hopefully this time my crafting will not suffer. Last year, first year teacher, super busy, and really I didn't get a lot of crafting done. It was just, well, it was what it was. First year teachers are really, you're learning a lot. Second year teacher, there's still a lot to learn, but at least I have some experience of what to expect. And that helps. So but I'd like to not have it so that all my crafting is in the summer and I don't get anything done during the year. I don't know what eBay's going on about, but oh well. So my goal for this year is balance. I want to have a better work-life balance. I need to make sure I take time for myself, but also my husband. And that's Messenger. Let me I can at least turn some of the binging off. Can't turn it all off, but I can turn some of it off. I have too many devices that bing. It's just the state of the world, unfortunately. But so anyway, trying to balance life, and in doing so, I was originally planning to go to work today, and I took a minute to realize, wait a minute, it's my last week of vacation. And because I have to drive an hour to get to work, if I'm going to spend the day. Or at least a good chunk of the day. So, like, I don't want to spend my last Monday of summer break at work. So I decided instead that I was just going to stay home, and I was basically going to have a me day. I haven't done any lesson planning. I haven't done any activity planning. I am going into work tomorrow for freshman orientation. So, and that's only in the afternoon, and I'm going to go in the morning. And I will get some work done in the morning. And then in the afternoon, I will do freshman orientation, which probably won't take too terribly long. And then from there, we'll see what the rest of the week brings. So, but my goal is just to chill. I can't do it all week because I do need to be ready for school next week. And I mean, I am ready for the first 2 weeks of school. I have all my activities planned. So if I do nothing for the rest of the week, I'll be fine. But that's not my personality. That's really not how I work. And so, yeah, I'm not gonna just do that. I will probably take more time for myself, but I have ideas floating around in my head, and if I want to get them all done, I need to spend some time working on them before I have regular work on top of the ideas floating around in my head. So I gotta work on that. But nothing too terrible. I'm going home to see my family this week. My nieces and nephews all go back to school next week as well. So it's kind of a last chance for everybody to see each other because once school starts, I'm busy, the kids are busy, and I don't always, matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I won't be home for the holidays this year as I host my in-laws at my house, which means I don't get to see my side of the family on the holidays. Now I usually go home around the holidays, but I don't get home for the actual holiday itself. So, all right. Now, do this without moving the camera is the trick. And not going to happen. Ow! Stabbed myself. That hurt. Ouch. Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. All right. That needle is sharp. I actually stabbed myself hard enough to bleed. Not good. It's hard to believe while I'm waiting for my finger that I'm just right here. I kind of like to get the bottom of this dress done, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I really want to get the dress done. I want to work on the wings. I love her wings, and I've made some changes. Because, well, you know, I change everything. I very rarely stick to a pattern 100%. But we'll see how long I work on this one before I move on to another project. Next week it may be something different. Who knows? All right. I may work on the cougar next week. Just kind of have to see. But I love the cougar, so, but Again, I love all my projects. That's kind of... I can't see... I've got a couple in timeout that I'm not sure, and I have made the decision that I'm not going to do full-size Hades. So I have 2 of those started that likely will see the threads and the fabric repurposed. I like Hades. It's not that I don't like the Hades. It's just there are so many things I want to stitch, and the Hades take a very long time. So it makes it a little bit more difficult. And that's why so many of my projects haven't seen as much, because I was working on the Hades. And it just kind of, well, it partially killed my stitchy bug, because I never felt like I was making any progress. What little stitching time I did, you really couldn't tell I'd stitched on anything. So that's kind of why I have I love the minis, but you see progress quicker on the minis. And so I'm just like, I'm not going to stitch. There's several full-size designs I absolutely adore, but the reality is I just don't have the time. So that's just what it is. And right now, Stitch What's is taking a lot of my time. So we have the Quidditch tournament going on right now between the houses, and then we started a new semester of Stitch What's, so, and we kind of revamped how we're doing things and the way points are awarded. Which reminds me, I need to publish the House Cup results for last semester. And get that done. We have some new new moderators over at Cross Stitch It's Fun, which is very helpful. I can't do it all myself, and life gets busy, and there's just not enough hours in the day for anybody, and so a few more admins to spread the work around, because an event like Stitch What's takes a lot of work to do. And it quite often eats into my crafting time, which can get annoying for me. Makes me a little cranky, maybe. So I think it's somewhat ironic that I teach and my event is school-based. So that's kind of amusing. What are you going to do? I'm so happy I got my new glasses. So these are have progressive lenses, so I can see what I'm doing for the most part, which before I had to use magnification. Well, progressives are magnification, but I had to use the magnifier and look through that, and it's so much easier to have it on my glasses. So that's really nice. And I am using Anchor Black for the black on this, which is really thick and gives me really great coverage, which given the size, I probably could have used DMC, but I bought several boxes of Anchor Black. So had it, why not use it? At some point, I do want to put all my stash that I would like to start or do onto a Pinterest board as well. But honestly, I'm trying not to start things until I get some of these whips done, because I have too many. And it's a little crazy. So it would be better if I just stitched on what I have. Because I have beautiful pieces like this that just need time spent on them. And as you can see, this fabric is stunning. And this fairy is going to be gorgeous when I get her done, if I just stitch on her. And I have several Joan Elliott fairies started that will be stunning when I get her done. But I can't get them done if I don't work on them. So, no new starts. And I've been pretty good about that. I had a bunch of new starts in June for projects that I did for my classroom, but other than that, I've pulled out the books, I've looked, and then I've gone back to a whip. I've purchased some new patterns. I just got a Paula Vaughn book. Because, you know, I haven't finished a Paula Vaughn, but I have one started. I have intentions to do a Teresa Wentzler. I haven't started that, though, which is probably a good thing. That might drive me a little crazy. So, with this one. And this is the only mirror I actually own, but I have several lavender and lace. And there's several mirrors I want, but there's several more lavender and laces I want too. I've got one started. I need to put my stash in order because and catalog it, which is the idea behind Pinterest, because it wasn't too long ago I bought the same pattern I already owned. And I was like, alright, I gotta quit buying stuff until I know what I do and don't have. Because that's a little frustrating. Just a little bit. Guess it's time to do a little bit more black. Okay, a lot more black. This dress is a lot of black. Lot of black. But it really pops on this fabric. And her wings are going to look stunning. I just have to get to them. And this is where the starting from the bottom gets tedious, but it's worth it. That's what I keep telling myself. Need to mark my pattern a little bit. No, I don't want to get smaller. I want to get bigger. The unfortunate part is that I use a digital working copy, and somewhere along the line I lost the most updated one. So that is really tedious. Really, really tedious. So I have to double check where I'm at. And update the, and the working copy has has some stuff marked, but it's basically like it lost the last time I worked on it, before it went into deep stash. And now my eyes need to refocus. There we go. Yeah, I got tired of working on the black, and I discovered it was better to do a little black and then switch to the color in the dress, and then do a little more black. So, but at this point, I am trying to get this bottom part of the dress done. So I'm working up to this point. And then going across. So I'm trying not to stab myself again, because that's smarted. So, love working on this piece, and what does it do? It sets. I need to just focus on a piece, but I never seem to. I say that every time I pull out a piece. I'm like, oh my god, I love this piece. If I just would work on it, I could finish it, and then I could move on to something else. And that works for a week or two. This has been on my frame for about a week now. And not quite, but about. Yeah, it's been on for about a week, and probably by sometime next week I will be moving on. But we'll see. I should probably come up with some sort of rotation, but I don't find that really works for me. I've tried multiple times. Different styles of rotation. Yeah. And that is Stitch What's questions that I will have to address at some point. Hopefully everybody is enjoying Stitch What's. I like to think it's fun. I put a lot of effort into it. Everybody that works on it puts in a fair bit of effort. Trying to keep track of everything and all that good jazz takes a lot of time and effort. This sparkly stuff can be a pain in the butt when you're stitching. Gotta say. Looks gorgeous. Love it. Ugh, some days. And really, I've never had a problem until... of course, this is the first piece I really worked on with sparkly fabric, so I don't have that much sparkly fabric. I like sparkle, but I don't have a lot of it. Predominantly, most of my hand-dyed fabric is stuff that I've dyed. I don't buy a lot of it. I'd like to, but I don't know. I think I want to do a fabric of the month club, but I have to see that my stitching bug is really warrants buying it, and the only way that's going to happen is if I get some finishes and get some stash or get some whips done. If I buy sparkly fabric, I'm going to want to start new projects, and then I'm going to have more whips, and yeah, that's probably not where I really want to go with that. So we're going to stay on the trying to be good before I start something new. Look in my whips and see if there's not something that doesn't fill that need, whatever I'm currently in the mood for, which quite often I haven't even counted. I don't even know how many whips I have anymore. I don't want to know, really. I just want to get some of them finished. But I know it's at or around 50. If we take the ones that are in timeout out of there, it's slightly less. But I didn't put that many into timeout. And I have a couple rescue whips that I need to catalog and put them into rotation because I would like to finish them. So by rescue whips, these are things that either have been given to me or I found either Goodwill or thrift, and or in one stack of them's case, the lady could no longer stitch and was selling all of her stash, and in that stash was several Alright, I'm gonna have to answer that question. Just a moment. Alright, let's see. Alright. Alright. Sorry. Had to clarify. And clarify a question. So, yeah, I forgot what I was talking about. Stitchwoods. Probably not, but anyway. Whatever it was, it's gone from my head now. But I think I'm going to finish this thread and call it good on this project for the day. It does take concentration between the sparkle and the size. It is hard on the eyes, or at least hard on my eyes. And I really prefer to avoid headaches when crafting. That's just my general. I don't really want headaches while I'm crafting. Seems like an unnecessary thing, so I give my eyes a rest. This is actually, I've probably stitched longer on this than I normally do. I usually get about a half an hour on this one before I decided it's time to take a break. Because as I said, it's not worth a headache. That takes the enjoyment out of it. And I have enough projects that have higher or smaller counts and easier to see. That it's not worth it. But I'm really pretty happy with the amount of progress I've made today. And hopefully won't take me too long to get this column black. The black usually doesn't take long. Once I get the column going, you can get the black done, and then so once I get this column of black done, I'll come back in and I'll fill in this purple column, and so on. Which is a great way to break up the dress. So I'm trying to decide what, if I were to get another mirror, what would I get? I love the flower ones, the Nora Corbett with the flower fairies. I really enjoy those. I could see getting one of those next. But probably, as far as the pretty lady designs, I really want to do the 4 Celtic ladies. And I have Noelle started. So I want to do her. And then I also want to do a couple of the conversions for the Celtic ladies. So that's a fair bit right there. And I have, like I said, I have the Christmas one started, so. So that is something I'll have to think about. I have to, not only do I have a fair few of the lavender and lace. I'm missing, I think, one or two of the Celtic ladies. And then I have the Christmas angels. And I have the angels of light to do. And I have the angel of hope to do. So I have a fair few pretty ladies to do. So I have a few. Few things along this line that would probably happen before I stitch another Mirabilia. There's several I want to get. But again, I'm trying to not buy too much because that just encourages me to want to stitch. That probably is not going to happen, but because there's a Joan Elliott I have a feeling is going to come home really soon. It's been sitting in my cart for like 3 years on 1, 2, 3 stitch, and no, I'll be good, I'll be good, I'll be good, and it's like, okay, I'm done. The next time it's on sale, it's going. I'm getting it because it's stunning and I've wanted it for quite some time. And I adore Joan Elliott, so her projects are just some of my most favorite. Alright, so I'm going to call it there. Made some pretty good progress, and I will see you next time. Have a great week. Bye now.